So ahead of the UEFA Women's Champions League, how excited are you and the squad as a whole?
We're really excited. I think the Champions League has a habit of getting to the players in a way that I think the league and the cup competitions don't, just because you never really know what to expect. It's a real challenge for the players. The level of competition is high. Games are always very competitive, and the challenges that this year we have to go through the group stage, albeit we're hosting it, which should help us a little bit, but it's still going to be very difficult, we know that, but the players are looking forward to the challenge.
In terms of that challenge, 3 national champions coming to Scotland, it's going to be really tough opponents. What do you make of the teams you've been drawn against?
We don't know a lot about the Georgians, to be honest. It's going to be a bit of an unknown quantity, but we do get to see them before we go in and play against them in the second game. Anderlecht, we've got enough footage of now. We know them. They're a good side, and we know that's going to be a tough game, given it's the first game that we've got. And it's important, obviously, in the first game to start well, to try and win that game, and get us going in the competition. And then, of course, we play Górnik in the last game from Poland, and they're a very good side. I've watched them quite a lot now. Also, we know what we need to know about these teams. It's just now a case of our own application in the games and making sure that we go in with a level of play that we know it's going to be our best game that we need to bring to this competition in order to go through.
In terms of with it being kind of tournament football, it does change perhaps the way that certain teams might set up, especially against yourselves. Will you just be concentrating on your own football, or will you be cautious of the fact that teams might come and defend more than anything and hit on the counter?
Well, I think we do tend to face a level of competition in our league that sit in and make things difficult for us. So if the clubs come and do that, then we kind of know what to expect, and we've been through that before. Ultimately, we're just going to go into each game and try and win them, and that means that if you're doing that, you really kind of have to focus mainly on yourselves and the way you're going to play, and then we'll take the game as it comes. If things change within the game and we have to deal with different aspects, different formations, styles of play, then we'll deal with that. But ultimately, we know the teams enough. We have a good idea how they're going to play against us, and I think, as you say, what it really comes down to is how good we are on the day. In
terms of Anderlecht, the first game, a lot of people might see them as the most competitive match that you might have, or the toughest team to face. You've got them right at the start. Does that mean getting points in the first game? Does it make it quite important in your eyes? Yeah, I think the first game is always important. It's going to be tough, to face Anderlecht first. I think, it's a toss-up between Anderlecht and Górnik. I would say, who are the highest level of competition that we'll face, but they're both good sides, and I think that then means that the first game is very important. We want to hit the ground running in the tournament. We want to make sure that we start well and get points on the board. So from that perspective, it is important that we start well, and that we don't try and play our way into this competition. We have to go in from the first minute, and hopefully take our chances and defend well. And be a good side, and if we can do that, then I do believe that we can take all 3 points in the first game. Just looking at your squad, you've obviously had the summer break, and there's been a few changes. Christy Murray obviously going to Liverpool, but you've brought in 2 players with international experience. How do you feel confidence-wise in the squad that you've got right now?
Yeah, we've got a good squad. It was important that we did strengthen the squad, and bringing in Lara and Lydia has helped that. They're 2 different types of players that we've not really had before. Lydia's got a lot of experience at high level, and is now captaining our international team as well. So I think that's important, that type of experience when you go into these tournaments. I think Lara's different. Lara's raw. Lara's she's quick. She's a forward-thinking player that we didn't have that type, and I think she'll bring that sort of rawness to the team, which I think is important sometimes. That a player that just wants to win every challenge, that wants to be first at every ball, and she'll fit into the team really well as we go through the competition. Obviously, we managed to bring in a little bit more strength in defence with Jenna Clark coming in from Rangers. So yeah, we're in a good shape, but we do know that when you go in, we've pretty much got 4 games in just over a week, that we know that we're going to use pretty much all the players, and we're going to need them all, and they all need to know that they have to be ready for that aspect of the challenge, which is games coming thick and fast.
In terms of just touching upon the league slightly, obviously you've got Celtic on Sunday, one of the tougher teams in the league that you'll face. So I mean, going into that game as well as the Champions League, you've got a lot on the plate at the moment as a team, don't you? Yeah,
I mean, it's really tough. We play Celtic on Sunday, and then it's a really quick turnaround because we then play Anderlecht on Tuesday. So there's very little time for recovery. It does mean that we hope to start the games quickly. And hopefully put ourselves in a position where we can make a few changes and rest up some legs. But football never really goes to plan in that way. So we'll see how it goes and take each game as it comes.
You're a team that wants to win. There's no doubt about it. And obviously, going for 12 in a row at the moment, it's going to be tough on all fronts, though, isn't it? I mean, because also with the Champions League, it's tough to qualify in itself, and then Hibs are pushing all the way at the moment for the title, so there's a lot of big games coming up, isn't it, for Glasgow?
Yeah, it's the level of competition is high. The type of games that we're about to play in the next 3 or 4 weeks are tough, and generally speaking, the next 2 months can pretty much decide the fate of so many things. The Scottish Cup, the league, the Champions League, and I think the players know that. They know that it's kind of that moment has come, and they're ready for it, and they're excited about it too.
Yeah, I was going to touch upon that fact. I mean, the fact that you've got so many big games, so much to look forward to, as you touched upon, 3 trophies that you're in the mix for. Does that bring the players an excitement knowing they're going to be going into big pressure games? Yeah,
any player wants to play in big games, you know that, and players would prefer to play games and train. Well, they're going about to find out how that is over the next 10 days, and I think that's good. I mean, the players here, I'm lucky that they have that level of experience. They've generally been playing Champions League every year for the last 10 years, so even more. So they know what's coming, and they also know how to continue to win. But that said, it's not easy to do it. You just have to work very, very hard and try and have that level of performance that makes it difficult for the opposition.
And just finally, obviously, you're hosting the group stage as well. You'll be calling upon people to come along and show their support and be kind of a 12th player almost, if you like, for your team, won't you? Yeah, it would be really nice if people turned out and got behind Glasgow City to do well in this competition. And the players, they do react really well when the stands are full and when people come and watch and cheer us on. So it would be great if that were the case, because there's so much to play for. Perfect. Well, all the very best for the games to come.
Thank you very much.